Hello and welcome to Think Measurement 2025. This Google event from the EMEA headquarters here in Dublin gathers hundreds of marketing, measurement, data and analytics specialists to explore full funnel measurement and effectiveness solutions for 2025. Yes, get ready for key insights from Google experts and special guests. But all the fun won't just be happening here, we'll also be in London for our satellite event. This is your Backstage Pass. And this is what we've got coming up on our show. Lisa Jacobowitz will talk about how businesses can drive growth with the right data foundation and measurement strategies. I'll be sitting down with Joanna Stringer and Johnny Prothero to discuss Google's market insights and Boston Consulting Group's latest research and key takeaways. And throughout, we'll be hearing from valued customers on how they proved the real impact of marketing. First up, I'll be talking to Phil Adrian, Director of Data and Measurement and Shopping EMEA. Phil, thank you so much for joining us. Can you talk us through what today is all about and who's attending?
Yeah, so we've brought our EMEA marketers to Dublin for Think Measurement 2025. And with everything that's happening on the world today and the complexity that modern marketers face, we want to spend some time unpacking the ability to prove the value of marketing today and move it from a cost center to a profit driver.
And some of that complexity comes from changing consumer behaviors. We're seeing them getting increasingly complicated.
Yeah, so if you think even about your own journey, you're streaming, you're scrolling, you're shopping, you're searching, you might even be doing all that at the same time. And so that's an incredibly difficult journey for marketers to follow. And what we want to do is arm them with tools to be able to make signal from noise around which touch points are really driving ROI for their business.
Now, I know you're going to say yes to this answer, but surely some of those tools contain AI. How does AI play a role in all this?
Yeah, so AI is critical, and it actually is the driver. When we think of AI, sometimes we think first of the consumer applications like Gemini or Project Astra, but that same research, that same technology that's gone into powering those tools is actually what's powering our modern measurement tools, allowing you to find customers, drive meaningful insights to make better decisions for your business.
Okay, so these modern measurement tools, they're clearly very important. The whole event is called Think Measurement. Can you explain why measurement is so critical to marketers?
Yeah, there's never been more pressure on marketers to prove the value of their contribution to business growth. And we want to go deep into the next 2 days to help marketers with a toolkit to really unlock the value of their marketing spend.
Okay, so there's going to be lots of information that's going to be put out there over the next 2 days. For anybody watching at home, what is the key things you'd love them to take away?
Yeah, so 2 things really. First is that a high quality data layer is critical. You need to have that data foundation to power our AI tools. And that's going to allow you to find meaningful insights, to understand more about your consumer, and then make better business decisions and invest in the right place.
Okay, so number 1, data foundation.
Data foundations.
Okay.
Then number 2 is you need a holistic view of your modern marketing, and we have a tool set called the Modern Measurement Toolbox. And there's 3 components. The first is incrementality, the second is attribution, and the third is marketing mix modeling, or MMMs. And with these, they can give you a holistic, big picture view of your business, but also the granularity to understand which channels, which platforms are driving performance and helping you to reach customers and grow your business.
And that is ultimately what we all want to do. Phil, thank you so much for your insights today. Let us now go to our London delegates to find out what they're excited about.
Sessions like this today are just brilliant to help us ensure that we're understanding problems at a wider scale, what the solutions are, and how we can best serve our clients, make the most of the Google tech that we're licensing, consulting on a day-to-day basis.
Today's important because it enables us as marketing professionals to all get together to hear some really compelling research.
The tools I'm most excited to hear about today are the incrementality tools. So Meridian is great, and we're already fully enthralled in investigating and understanding how that works.
Now it's time to speak to Group Product Manager Lisa Jacobowitz about the products and solutions that will help you measure what matters and prove marketing impact. Lisa, thank you so much for joining us today. So during this event, we have 2 pillars that we're focusing on. The first one being about data foundations. Is there anything that you particularly want to highlight when it comes to this pillar?
Yeah, data is really the foundation that powers AI. And at Google, we're making a really fundamental shift in terms of how advertisers send their first-party data. And we're making it faster, easier, more secure to really connect that data into Google.
And what specific new developments are you speaking about?
So the Google tag still remains crucial. And we recently launched first-party mode, which adds additional protection to that advertiser tag. And by updating to this new configuration, it gives you greater control of your data, improves accuracy and reliability, and you can even pick up data that was previously being lost.
Well, all those sound like it will really help simplify how advertisers manage their data. What about data that's not actually captured on the website?
Yeah, so for that, we're investing in Google Ads Data Manager, which is intended to be the central hub for ingesting all offline data into Google, whether for measurement or for audience purposes. It requires no coding. It's flexible, safe, easy to use, and we're also introducing improvements later this year, like integrations with Google Analytics. I think the important thing for advertisers to really do right now is to make sure you're sending your user-consented data to Google. So you can do that through solutions like enhanced conversions or through Customer Match.
Lisa, thank you so much for your insights, and we look forward to hearing you later on in the show as you're going to be discussing the second pillar.
Of course, thank you so much.
Hi there, my name is Thiago Pojda, and I'm the Director of SEO at Sixt. Like many of you, we faced a significant challenge: how to achieve great results and prove the impact of our campaigns while navigating complex data privacy regulations and the deprecation of third-party cookies. We've always focused on leveraging new tools to improve measurement and drive more conversions, and Google has many in its tool belt. One of the areas that we explored was enhanced conversions. And as soon as we implemented it, we saw a very interesting 75% improvement in our YouTube conversions, and a smaller but still significant gain in search. Another crucial part of our strategy involved audience lists, using our first-party data. And the results were incredible. We achieved a 10 times higher conversion rate in this list compared to our average campaigns. And this successful test gave us the validation that we needed, and now we're moving forward with the full-scale implementation of our primary solution as we wanted, with legal support. So by combining enhanced conversions and audience lists, we've greatly improved our ability to track, optimize, and drive better performance across all our campaigns. So my advice to you is, don't wait for the perfect solution. Start somewhere, test, learn, and apply the insights. Have fun.
Excellent stuff there. Now it's time to pick up on part 2 of Lisa Jakobowicz's product insight. Lisa, let's speak about the second pillar then, which is effective modern measurement. Can you elaborate a little bit more on this?
Sure. Effective modern measurement is all about helping advertisers understand the full value of their media spend. And to do that, we advocate for using a few different tools together. So MMMs, or marketing mix modeling, incrementality experiments, and attribution. They each provide their own unique lens, but together they can really offer a more complete view.
Okay, so with these different tools, you get that holistic view. Would you mind just elaborating a little bit more on each of those?
Sure, yeah. So MMMs are great at providing a broad view across all of your media channels and helping you understand the impact that each of your media channels has on your ROI. Last year, we introduced Meridian, which is our open source MMM solution, and that went into general availability of January of this year. And really has a few key innovations that we're particularly proud of. So one of them is more accurate modeling of upper funnel measurement using reach and frequency. We also introduced Google Query Volume to help more accurately measure search. And finally, we included a way to incorporate incrementality experiments within marketing mix modeling.
Well, having spoken to some of the delegates already, I know they're very excited about Meridian and the type of things they can do with it. What about attribution and incrementality?
Sure. So yeah, Meridian and MMMs really help you assign overall budget allocation. Attribution comes in to help you understand the different touch points along the consumer journey. So AI-powered data-driven attribution actually automatically assigns credit depending on how impactful each of those touch points were in driving the conversion. And that automatically feeds into bidding to help optimize ROI. And then incrementality helps answer the question of what would have happened if we hadn't run these ads. So we're able to assign users into two different groups, a treatment group and a control group, We offer geo-based as well as user-based experiments. And you can also run these across different KPIs, such as brand lift and search lift, to measure those upper funnel outcomes.
Well, that sounds like a really comprehensive suite of tools and approaches. Thank you so much for joining us, Lisa.
Of course, thank you, Georgie.
Let us now find out what our Dublin delegates are thinking about the event so far.
It's really amazing. It's amazing the foundry, because I've never been here before.
People from different parts of Europe are coming. It definitely opens a lot of opportunities for networking.
Are there certain tools that you've heard about so far?
I've heard a lot of tools wandering around, so I will be the one responsible for checking with my internal team, are we using all those tools?
Hello, my name is Raymond Castillo from Picnic. When I joined Picnic less than a year ago, there was no dedicated marketing measurement team. It didn't need one since it grew rapidly across the Netherlands, France, and Germany through organic growth and strong product market fit. Historically, we relied on attribution that left us mostly in the dark. This became an issue as profitability suddenly became the top priority and competition heated up. We urgently needed to prove the value of marketing spend or face the real possibility of having our budgets cut. Modern measurement helped show the value marketing brings in clear, simple, and most important to the finance team, numerical terms. Today, we use a framework combining attribution for optimization, MMM for strategic planning, and incrementality tests for validation. We started by finding a measurement tool that fit our needs and solved our core problem. We chose a SaaS MMM provider since it was the fastest way to measure campaigns across both offline and online channels. This gave us the credibility to justify our budgets and revealed ways to optimize our spend. For example, we saw that YouTube was actually 8 times more efficient than TV in driving app downloads. This enhanced our internal credibility and enabled us to have data-driven marketing decisions that our stakeholders can actually trust. MMM is incredibly useful, but we also needed to validate this with incrementality tests. We moved from doing a geo holdout experiment, which was too complex for our needs, to platform-based tests. Showing stat-sig lifts on app campaigns allowed us to increase spend even when the finance team was scrutinizing every single item the company was spending to drive profitability. With this successful pilot, we are now transitioning to an in-house MMM powered by Meridian, integrating attribution for short-term optimization, MMM for strategic planning, and incrementality testing for validation. In the end, marketing measurement tools are only as good as the decisions that we make from using them. There is a flood of tools available out there, all claiming that they can solve all our problems. But this ignores the reality that we have stakeholders to convince, internal politics with competing goals, and short-term KPIs to deliver. I think the journey to better measurement starts with having a clear business goal, building credibility with the results that are easy to explain and communicate, and scaling this approach throughout the rest of your marketing channels.
Wonderful stuff. It's now time to hear from Johnny Prothero from Google's Market Insights team and Joe Stringer from BCG about their latest research. Johnny and Joe, you've both presented new research here at Think Measurement, which has created a bit of a buzz. I'd love to find out a little bit more about it. Johnny, let's start with you. Can you give me some of the key findings from your research?
So our research report we've sort of debuted here is called the effectiveness equation. And the basic premise of the effectiveness equation is that marketing might be systematically underreported, undervalued, and therefore underinvested by companies. The reasons for that, 2 main reasons. One is that we're very good at measuring marketing in the short term, but it's much more difficult to measure it in the long term, but potentially that impact is the same amount again. And the second one is that we're not very good in marketing at actually measuring the impact of our marketing activity on pricing and price elasticity. But again, there's an amazing story to be told. Marketing is all about telling great stories, and we need to unearth the data to support those stories for our marketing customers.
So that's the key for unlocking that side of it. Joe, let's go to you. What have you found with your BCG research?
So we really looked at the capability suite around media measurement, which I think kind of leans into the opportunity that Johnny's seen. So we see 76% of practitioners actually feel that they're quite nascent in their capability, with a good road ahead for really kind of developing the maturity of that function.
And what are the top performing advertisers doing differently?
Great news is that actually there's a great deal of economic benefit to being a top performer in terms of media measurement capability. We see the top performing advertisers are actually 3 times more likely to report top quartile earnings in terms of EBITDA.
What can advertisers do to close that capability gap?
So there's 4 things that we identified that really set the leaders apart. The first one is really making sure that they elevate to the C-suite and communicate with leadership and have integration there. The second is ensuring that they have a holistic and integrated toolkit set up, so that integrates kind of across the triangle of MTAs, MMMs, and incrementality. Thirdly, they ensure experimentation to isolate value. And then finally, they really focus on more of a formalized or structured process to take insights and really drive them into recommendations and decisions.
Absolutely. And Johnny, have you seen nice synergy between your 2 different bits of research? Are there common threads there?
Absolutely. I think they're hugely complementary pieces of research, and some of the overlapping topics, if you like, are a little bit about trying to measure the full impact of what you do in different ways, whether it's short-term, long-term, and so on, but also about how you communicate about effectiveness within your organization, how you communicate to the C-suite, how you communicate to the finance department, building shared learning agendas and that type of thing. Super important and covered in both reports.
And if people want to find out more about these research papers, where can they go?
So the effectiveness equation report in full is available for download on Think with Google.
Great.
Ours will be hot on the heels and out next month.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for all your work into this research. It's really fascinating.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Hello there, my name is Vasilis Kourakis and I'm the Global Marketing Effectiveness Director for L'Oréal, but you can call me Vas. Last year, thanks to our passion and obsession and our AI-powered tool called BetIQ, Beauty Engagement Touchpoints IQ, we achieved a remarkable 10 to 15% boost in our return on investment by optimizing across key channels. Our main challenge is how to gain a truly holistic and accurate understanding of marketing effectiveness. To overcome this challenge, we leverage a remarkable number of marketing mix models to measure both the short and the long-term ROI across all our beauty engagement touchpoints. We use marketing mix modeling deep dives across digital platforms and thousands of brand lift and conversion lift studies as well. Geo-experiment as well as brand value of searches are also tools are part of this complementary measurement toolkit. Crucially, we developed a proprietary AI-powered tool called BetIQ. BetIQ analyzes the vast insights from our extensive measurement efforts and transforms them into actionable strategies, optimizing our marketing investment across every channel. This ensures that every euro we invest delivers maximum ROI both now and in the future. We also distill our global learnings into strategic rules of engagement tailored for different divisions and our beauty categories, providing a clear spending guidelines by touchpoint. We established also operational media golden rules across key digital platforms to ensure consistent and effective campaign setup and execution. All of these efforts are contributing to fostering a culture of marketing effectiveness.
This event has been a goldmine of learning and discovery, so let's find out the thoughts of the attendees.
Different people from different countries, from different companies. It's a lot of insights and a lot of things that you share because you're maybe facing the same issues.
To have like these examples, like how Sixt and Picnic are working. So I thought that was very interesting that we had some key speakers on that.
I think especially incrementality, that's definitely something that I learned a lot.
And will you be coming back again?
I would. 10 out of 10.
We are learning a lot here.
I love getting inspired by literally everyone.
Great energy here, and if it's on again, I'll be here.
Well, that is it. The curtain has now come down on this year's Think Measurement, and what an event it's been with key learnings and discussions. We really hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. This has been Backstage Pass, and we'll see you next time.